Hey guys, Frank here, your virtual general aviation aviator, and today I am in the Cessna 172 by, you guessed it, L4 Labs. Now, I bet you, I bet there is no way that you could have known that this aircraft is by L4 Labs. Okay, so it is hot out here, and it's time to get this guy in the air. It's been sitting in the hangar for a long time. I hadn't flown it in a while, and it's awesome just to kind of circle back and fly some of the hangar aircraft from time to time, which is what this video is about. Also, it's a good opportunity to get a feel to see how X-plane, if X-plane, in my opinion, account for density altitude, which I am not really sure it does, and maybe even take a flight over my house. So I'm at KRDU, and I did change back to the default scenery. Um, One thing that the default scenery does do is it allowed me to cross over from taxiway Alpha to taxiway Bravo, which I can't do in the payware scenery because there's a road that go up under a bridge here, and I sink into the road. Uh, and the same thing happens up at this crossway here. It's just not done very well. But I probably switch back and forth between the two of them. I do like the buildings in the payware version a lot better because they're a lot more representative of what I see in real life. Anyway, so I got my doors open because it is hot. Let's turn the battery on, and let's see if we can get an outdoor temperature. Let's see, it's 33 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is 92 degrees Celsius. So there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and turn our beacon on. Make sure that people know that we are about to start the aircraft. And let's go full rich and prime it a little bit.
The engine seems ideally primed.
And I should turn that off. I don't think I need that anymore. All right, so let's see. How do we turn that off? Settings and messages audio. That ought to do it. Okay, and 24, 24. Let's go ahead and line our compass up. It's actually set to a heading of 23. All right, and let's get our weather. And I hope this weather's not too loud. Probably should check my sounds, my radios, engine sound. See, I don't even see a radio in here, so we'll assume that it's okay. All right, I'm gonna turn COM 2 on. It's usually where I get, and we are tuned to RDU ATIS.
Raleigh Durham INTL
Whoa,
information.
that is too loud. Let's try to see if we can't sort that out up here. Oh, look at that. So used to using these. All right, let's see if that's any better.
Raleigh Durham INTL
Well,
information
it's still too
November
loud, but
1900 Zulu weather. Wind 220 at 10 gust 16. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 3100 broken, 18,000 broken, Temperature 33, dew point 23. Altimeter 3003. Arriving runway 14. Departing runway 14. Advise on initial contact you have November.
Winds were 220 at 9, I think he said. I need to listen again just to get my winds. And it got November.
Raleigh Durham INTL information November. 1900 Zulu weather. Wind 220 at 10 gust 16. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 3100 broken, 18,000 broken. Temperature 33, dew point 23. Altimeter 3003.
Okay, so I was way off on the winds. 220 at 10, gusting to 16, and they want to put me on 14. That don't quite make sense when I got a 2-3. So I am going to choose 2-3 as opposed to 1-4. Go figure. Okay, so let's go ahead and start up. This is strictly VFR. I'm gonna not manage the radios. This is just, well, with all my flights, it's a fun flight. Okay, and my engine was primed, so I should be able to get a good start. Crack the throttle. Prop clear. Clear left, middle, and right. She wanted to start up, that's for sure. She definitely wanted to start up. She sounded pretty loud, but I do have my doors open. Okay. At least I had it open. The wind blew it shut. And I am going to turn this off forever. Okay. Let's turn on our GPS. And let's turn on our alternator, check our oil pressure, which we should have already checked. Oil pressure is in the green. Oil is still cold, but it should come up relatively quickly. Fuel looks good. And amp is in the green. Vacuum is a little low, but I'm idling a little low. I guess we should do a run-up. Okay, and the altimeter was 3003. Okay. And all right. So let's get ready to taxi out. And of course, I would have taught the clearance and I'll be on my ground frequency at this point. So let's make sure we are on ground. 121.9 and tower is 127.4, so my radios look good. Raleigh ground, Cessna 175 Foxtrot Whiskey, ready to taxi VFR departure to the north, Raleigh. Didn't have to say Raleigh. Taxi to runway 23 via taxiway Juliet Bravo 1. I think it's Bravo 1. 175 Foxtrot Whiskey. Okay, so I got my taxi instructions. So let's release our brake. Trims look good. All right. This is lean for taxi. Clear. Clear. I should have these runway designations memorized by now as much as I fly in and out of this airport. So I gotta bear in mind that even though the winds are favoring 2-3, they are using 1-4, and 1-4 is only like 3,200 feet. And look at that big jetliner trying to stop or take off on it. I think it's trying to stop, but it can't stop in 3,200 feet. So I wish that could get addressed. I love the sounds. Clear to the right and clear left. And this is Juliet. I'm crossing. I'm cross straight on to Bravo. Bravo. I mean Alpha. Look at that. And didn't turn my taxi lights on. Seeing that guy reminded me. Now, I believe this guy is literally parked there. So I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do is go around him because I don't think he's gonna move. I got collision with AI aircraft turned off, so I'm not too worried about running into him if I wanted to go through him. But let's just say the ATC said go around him. All right. So and what I am trying to do is point my nose into the wind. So I can do a run up, okay. And break on, cigar. So that's controls, instruments. Don't see anything to look too crazy. This is pointing south, so this do need to be adjusted. And let's put the heading on 2-3. That's where we're taking off from. You can find 2-3. Sounds like I hear something close by. Don't see anything. Okay. So that was instruments and gas. Okay. And got plenty of gas. Fuel pump is off. And A is attitude, so we trim for takeoff here. Let's get that trimmed up just a touch. And run up. Okay, so run up 1700. Mag 1. See my drop. Mag 2. See my drop. And vacuum looks good. Vacuum looks good, and um, I do have a little drop when I turn on the landing lights, so I know my alternator's working. All right, radio can go to tower, and brakes can come off. And we do need this guy. Last I heard, we do need a transponder, right? I think that's my transponder. No, that's not my transponder. That's my ADF. This is my transponder here. And let's get that guy turned on. Altitude reporting. VFR. All right, good to go. All right. Landing lights can come on. It's daytime, so I'm not going to worry about strobes. And Raleigh Tower, Cessna 175 Foxtrot Whiskey is holding at runway 23 left, ready to depart right downwind to the north. Well, they would give me right downwind to the north. Depart, clear for takeoff right downwind north. Departure, Cessna 175 Foxtrot Whiskey. All right, so landing lights on. Clear. Close this window. Close this window. And that quietens the engines down quite a bit. All right. And I got over 2 miles of runway, so I don't have to worry about using all available runway. Put for power, oil pressure's in the green, oil temperature's in the green, airspeed's coming alive, 40 knots, airspeed alive, 55, rotate, the right rudder, and if I got any non-lift from density altitude, I literally couldn't feel it. But I don't fly this aircraft enough to know. Okay. Flaps up. I didn't put in any flaps and still took off. My bad. All right, let's start this crosswind for a right downwind departure to the north. Well, I tell you where the density, how X-plane may be handling the density altitude, because I've got full throttle, and if you look here, I'm only generating 2,300 RPMs on the prop, So I am not redlining it. 2000 is gonna be my cruise altitude, turning downwind. Why is my horizon looking so wonky? Oh yeah, I got that wind. All right, can point my nose, get level here. All right, so we are flying to the north. Yep, yep. And it's a little disconcerting to have AirFoilLabs move, turn my head, because on some of those, I wasn't turning it. All right, so let's go ahead and make our turn to the north now. And oh man, look at my scenery. Scenery is not doing what it should be doing. Sometimes some of the I can install new airports and and apparently, see, I installed something and it has a negative effect on my scenery. So I am going to pause here. Well, I know I paused, but I want to turn off this head turn inside the sim and G effects. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so with no objects, there's no need of flying over my house. So, so, excuse me, got a dry cough from some sort of allergy or something of the sort. But yeah, X-Plane is definitely taking into account the density altitude because now now I'm able to generate a little bit more thrust. All right, so since I don't have the scenery that I want, I'm just going to land at 8 NC8, which is literally 11 miles from RDU, and see if I can't fix my scenery. Okay, so there's my airport. There's my runway right here. And let's get configured for landing. All right, no carb heat. Flaps 10. Strong balloon effect. Come down at about 500. And come in at about 65. So I got that power poured out till I get, as I slow down. I'm at 70 and add a little power. Well, with the winds, I do want to come in just a little faster. So I think with 70 is a good speed. All right. So let's go ahead and drop some more flaps. Manage that power. Landing lights come on. Failed to do a glumps test. Gas mixture, undercarriage. Undercarriage don't apply here. And this bridge in real life is not raised like this. Let's go full flaps, power out. Eyes to the end of the runway. And it felt like a hard landing, but say 1.07 G, so I guess that's acceptable. And the landing rate app did not like my flare. And I actually didn't feel like I had to do a lot of accounting for the winds. Excuse me. Sorry guys. So I'm gonna go down here and see what the windsock looked like, because I didn't feel like I had to crab a lower wing or anything. The weather may have changed. Let's see. Let's turn the weather back on.
Raleigh Durham INTL information Oscar.
Oscar now.
1900
We were at
weather.
November.
Wind 180 and 7. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 4,500 broken. Temperature 33, dew point 24. Altimeter 3003. Arriving runway 14. Departing runway 14. Advise on initial contact. You have Oscar.
All right, so let me turn here. See if we can't determine what's.
Durham INTL information Oscar.
Let's turn that off. Feet are off the brakes. Maybe I found a rut, right? All right, so let's see if we can fix our scenery. Be right back. Okay, I am back, and I'm just checking to make sure that everything is back where it was. So what I did was I I saved the flight and fixed the scenery, and I'm back, and you can see that it looks a lot different than it did a few moments ago. But in saving the flight, that did not actually had to do a couple of test flights. So my some of my settings are in a little different. Okay, so let's taxi back to 1-4, and we'll try to see if we can't find my house. I doubt I even be able to find it. Okay, these brakes. I've had the screen go dark before. Hope that don't know what's causing that, but so I don't know what to do to fix it. Um, so at 8NC8, this is a little taxiway. This brownish stuff, but I'm not sure that X-Plane's treating it as a taxiway. All right, so let's line our compass back up. One three, 1-4 should be here. Swing that around. All right. Lake Ridge traffic. Let's see. Let me set this to field elevation. Okay, and let's drop some flaps in. Definitely got some terrain to clear. Let's see if it's still temperatures come down a little bit. Lake Ridge traffic. Skyhawk 175 Foxtrot Whiskey is taking off runway 14, departing to the south, Lake Ridge. And the lights are on. For power. Not generate 100%. Yeah, density altitude is definitely playing a part. Rotate, because I felt like I should have been up before then. And I said I was departing to the south. And actually, south would take me back to the airport. I actually want to depart downwind to the east. Lake Ridge traffic. Cessna Skyhawk is departing left downwind to the east. Lake Ridge. Lake Ridge traffic. Skyhawk 175 Foxtrot Whiskey is on left crosswind, turning left downwind. 14 departing to the east. Okay, that's too much nose up attitude, isn't it? And we'll stay here at 15. And I want to follow the highway. I should have departed south, that way I wouldn't have to cross the landing path. Lake Ridge traffic. Skyhawk 175 Foxtrot Whiskey is turning left crosswind, departing to the east, departing west, Lake Ridge. Man, really messing up my directions here. The problem with that is if other people are joining the pattern and don't have a radio, and me giving them bad information, then they won't be able to figure out where I'm at. So it makes it hard for them to see and avoid me. Incidentally, if you want to know what happened with my scenery, one of my one of my mesh files was in the wrong place in my scenery packs ini file. So just a quick edit to put that in the right order. I said place, put it in the right order. Seem to have fixed that. Okay, so we explained these white building tops are actually buildings in real life. Um, but you'll see that the AutoGen will place trees wherever it wants. So that can really make pilotage a little bit more difficult, or maybe I should say a lot more difficult than it really has to be. Uh, this here should be a shopping center, and I do know I want to follow this road here. I want to follow this road. If you can see that cursor, and okay, I know what this road is. Okay, and let's get back down to 15. Okay, let's look at this road here. That cross street, that circle, auto repair shop right here. At least it should be. Um, and in real life, these houses are not there. All right, so uh, okay, so I think I passed my turn. So let's keep the road that we want in sight, because I fear that if I take my eyes off of it, I won't be able to find it. Had a lot of back pressure on this turn, and this looks like Miriam Circle right here. So that would be Dearborn. Yep. So so let's try to make another turn. Keep my eyes on the road that I want, and see how much lift that that wing loses. Now I lost the road that I that I yeah I've lost the road. And sharp turns, that wing uh, can cause a lot of lift to get lost. All right, so here's the interstate, right? Okay, so I recognize this intersection, and I recognize this crossroad here that's going over the. Okay, so that should put me. Okay, there's Miriam Circle, and ooh, okay, so yep, this is where my house would be, somewhere up in here. Um, Actually, it would be right here. Yep, that's exactly where it's at. Because there's Belvin, Berwin, Belvin. Yep. So I found my house and explained. All right. So let's go back to RDU and park. All right. So in this heat, we're not generating a whole lot of thrust. And I think I may have some flaps in because I'm too slow not to, which I'm glad I did have in because doing all that maneuvering would not have been good. Now, I do know that the airport is south, and let's get down to 15. Trying to manage the power to keep me at altitude. And I do recall, I think, yeah, I can see the tower here. I do recall that in real life you can see the airport uh, if it's not so hazy. Sometimes it can get so hazy that it's really hard to see anything. All right, so let's get the ADAS for Raleigh.
Raleigh Durham INTL information popping. 2000 Zulu weather. Wind 180 at 7, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 4500 broken, temperature 32, dew point 24. Altimeter 3003. Arriving runways 23 right, 23 left. Departing runways 23 right, 23 left. Advise on initial contact you have popping.
All right, so they finally gave us 2-3, and the altimeter was 3003. And so that really didn't change. And I am setting up uh, for 2-3. So let's go to technically I'd be going to approach and then talking to tower, but I am going to go straight to tower. Raleigh Tower, Skyhawk 175 Foxtrot Whiskey is about 6 miles to the east, inbound, 4 stop. And a right base for runway 23 right, 5 Foxtrot Whiskey. sometimes it's really hard to be the controller and the pilot at the same time. Okay, so I'm on the right base now. And since I'm flying a Cessna, I should get a little closer. So I won't have such a long funnel. And I said 6 miles. I feel like I'm probably, that's probably 8 or 9 miles up. Get back up to pattern here. Pattern for RDU for props is 1500. All right, glance, gas, lights, and undercarriage not a factor, mixture, and props not a factor. All right, glance is completed. All right, so I see the airport, and I'm just waiting on tower to give me landing clearance. Of course, in real life, they might even give me vectors and tell me when and where to make my turns. There is other traffic out here. Turn on the traffic global labels, and you can see that I've got one aircraft in my scope, and he's in cruise. Okay, so I got an airliner on final, and I am really close to it. I can see the livery. I think they're on final for 5 left, 5 right, and I'm on 5, and I'm gonna turn final for 5 left. Okay, so caution, weight turbulence, 5 Skyhawk, 5 Foxtrot Whiskey. Okay, so the tower would have never let me get that close to that aircraft in real life. All right, so I'm gonna turn to final. And configure for landing. Clear to land, runway 23 right, Cessna 5 Foxtrot Whiskey. I keep saying Cessna, and there's so many Cessnas that I keep telling myself I need to train myself to not say Cessna, but to say Skyhawk, so that people would know what I'm flying. Let's get in, notch your flaps here. Get my speed up under control. Winds were 180 at 7. Okay, I feel the winds now. Quarter in headwind. Okay, I'm a little fast, so I want to slow down a bit. Retrim. there's a good speed for landing right here, 65. So trim off some of this back pressure. Trim is look like it's full down. All right, and let's just let it come on in. I actually don't need flaps 20 to land. I might add a notch of flaps before it's over with. Since my speed is inching up towards 70 knots, I'm gonna put another notch of flaps in and retrim. See my landing point. Let's see if we can't hold this center line. Pull that power out. Power's all the way out. To the end of the runway. And it didn't light my flare. One thing that landing rate lights you to do is fly the airplane to the runway, but I probably flare it too high. And that's probably what it didn't like. All right, clean up. Flaps up. Reset trim. Lights. And lean for taxi. Clear to the right. Clear left. Ground up. Ground 121.9. All right. So let me dial that in. If I'd have been smart, I'd have dialed that in before I landed. Raleigh ground, Skyhawk 175 Foxtrot Whiskey, taxi to parking. Taxi to parking via Alpha Juliet 1 Skyhawk 5 Foxtrot Whiskey. All right. Clear again. Power to get going here. And at about 1200 RPMs, the prop should pull me pretty much right on in. Follow the yellow brick road. And this is yet another scenery package I've already used since from the one that I originally started out with. This one I think I like better than the other one because the objects, see Juliet, I need to cross to, I can cross Delta to get to Juliet. This is Charlie, so Delta is my next. And see this, okay, this is Charlie. But this should be Delta. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one. They call them at hotel. That's the issue with some of these packages. Juliet and then Juliet 1. The some things may not be the runway. Whoever makes the package get the taxiway designations, and sometimes they don't quite match up. Actually, that was Charlie that I turned on. Delta was the one before Charlie, so I actually had it backwards. But still, there's no hotel. All right, so we'll come on over to the FBO and no marshal there to marshal us in, but we'll park on this line up here. And nailing this line has always been a challenge. All right, and we'll stop right here. All right, let's see if we got it nailed. Almost. Not quite, but do a little adjusting. All right, and let's look again. And that's not quite it, but we'll take it. And keyboard shortcut. All right, so let's get shut down here. Avionics can go off. Somebody coming in, look like a general aviation, low wing, maybe a Piper, squeaker. All right, and there we go. And get this guy off. That's already off. Turn the transponder off. And DME off. Not that we were using it. And the autopilot would go off with the master. All right. And turn the avionics master off. Autopilot go off with the avionics master. Okay. And then kill the engine. And I usually leave my beacon on. Cool my mags off. So there's a shutdown procedure called SLIM that I should have used, which is SLIM is switches, lights, ignition, mag. No. Switches, lean, ignition, and mags. So that's a mnemonic memory aid for that I learned for the Cessna. Okay, guys, this has been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. And until next time, like and subscribe.
Y'all come back now. Cheers.